Ladies and gentlemen, for Airsoft Station, I'm Callsign Nobody. Alright folks, so today we're going to be talking about accessorizing your rifle. So this video really applies to everybody. Veterans of the sport, newbies, old players, young players. So I'm going to talk to you guys as if you're a new player, and that's going to help transition into getting into what we want to talk about today. So without further ado, let's say that you've got a brand new gun, you've got enough gear to play the game. That means you got magazines, batteries, these kind of things, consumables, but it's time to optimize your platform based on your gameplay style. So how do we do that? Well, in front of me, I've got a whole bunch of examples. We're going to start right here with an SBR, that's short barrel rifle, because these are kind of still the hotness. So if you're running a short gun and you want to put an optic or a laser system on that gun as shown here, you might want to think about putting that up a little bit higher. So the mount that's on here, as you can see, puts that optic up past 2 inches height, which is really good if you're rocking a paintball mask or airsoft goggles. All right. So this is something to consider when putting this platform together. The other thing you might want to think about are accessories like lights and grips. We're going to talk more about these throughout the video, but putting these things in a place where it feels really easy to get to, right? You can engage the system, turn the light on and off, be able to look through your mask, right? So these are the things that we consider. In this example, you can see I've got more of a woods ball or outdoor gun because of the length. I've chosen this kind of optic because I actually have some variability in zoom. It's easy for me to manipulate that optic. I've got a foregrip placed up a little bit higher. That's because I want to be able to get into that optic and have 4 points of contact on this gun when engaging targets. I can still see through that optic because it's a little high up. The other thing I've got on here is a flashlight that's got enough lumens to use in the daytime and a visible and infrared laser. That means I can use that laser when using night vision. So again, as your play progresses, these are things that you might want to consider in the future. This particular gun is accessorized with a lot of matching colorways, meaning the laser that I chose and the foregrip that I chose are actually the same color as the gun platform. So we've touched on lights, lasers, and optics. Let's talk about putting a grenade launcher on your AEG as an accessory. Most airsoft grenade launchers fire a single swarm of BBs in one blast, sometimes up to 250, so you have a single shot. You want to keep this in mind when you're going to add this kind of weight to a gun, because although it sounds really great to have, you're only going to use it one time, so you want to make sure that you're going to score that hit when you do. This gun is a little shorter, so I chose to go with a holographic clone, and I've got a PEC box with a visible laser that also does infrared. Now, the Havoc launcher is one of the grenade launchers that takes shells that fire one burst. It is a very lightweight model compared to aluminum housings like the M203, but again, the shells weigh a lot and you only get one shot. So when you're accessorizing your gun, although the cool factor is there, you want to think about your gameplay too. So how do I choose the right accessory? In general, look at features that sort of complement your gameplay style. Like this light is 1,000 lumens. That means if I turn this on in the middle of the day, I can blind somebody, versus this one, which is only 200 lumens. That means I'm probably limited in my usage during the day. It's just like if you're going to run mid-caps versus this bad boy, right? That's a different gameplay style. Your accessories are going to match the way you play the game. For instance, if you like a longer gun or a shorter gun, that's going to change the optic for you because you might be shooting at a further distance. Easy peasy, right? If you're going to run an optic, think about putting on a higher mount because you're going to be using that with airsoft goggles or possibly a paintball mask. This LPVO does 6x magnification, which is plenty for shooting up to 300 feet. If you're not shooting up to 300 feet and you want to consider a red dot, you might want to think about a housing such as this one because this thing can take a BB hit versus others which cannot. The long gun roll might warrant that you want a suppressor. That actually looks cool, but also allows you to put a longer inner barrel inside of the gun, which can increase accuracy and FPS. Suppressors can go both ways because, again, you get dual function. They look great, and you can make the gun perform better by putting one on. This particular gun has optics that will allow me to use it with goggles, but not a paintball mask because of their height. This PEC is visible laser only, and I really don't use it. I just think it looks awesome. At the end of the day, nobody can tell you how to accessorize your gun. You want to do something that looks good and feels good. That being said, Airsoft Station has a treasure trove of magazines, accessories, optics, mounts, flashlights, both available online and in store. So when you're getting ready to build this DMR Frankenstein that I've got, check out AirsoftStation.com or stop into one of our retail locations and make your gun cooler than anything that was on Pimp My Ride.